Hi everyone, I'm James the Box Office Artist, and this is a compilation video of art you might have seen, might have not seen, but this is some of my favorite art that I've done over the past couple years, and this is part 2, volume 2 of my most detailed drawing ever series. Now this is a series I invented, or at least I started doing this way back when I started my channel, or when in full time anyway, in 2016. And it's been a fun thing I've been doing, so if you want to see part 1, I'll have a card up here. But I'm going to show you some of my favorite art, and we'll start off with this one. As you see down below, it says 50 Avengers. And I knew I was going to Disney, and I knew I wanted to go see Kevin Feige. It was his birthday, so I wanted to get him a present. So I decided to draw all of the Avengers, plus got my friend Anthony Francisco to design Kevin Feige, who runs Marvel Studios, as a superhero. And this is what I drew. This is him here. And I had a lot of fun drawing this. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to color it. But I had a good time with this, and then I actually went over to Disney. Now, I didn't get to meet him in person. However, I did leave this piece with the fine people at Disney over there, and they loved it, and they thought it was really cool. And this is, of course, one of my favorite pieces here. So. So this is me at Disney with it framed, so I left it with them, and the next thing I know, I get an email from Kevin Feige. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to show this or not, but there you go. Now here, this is me drawing Power Rangers. Now, when I restarted my YouTube channel back in 2015, this was actually the second video series that I did. The first one was I drew tribute to Avengers Age of Ultron, and this one here, I wanted to do Power Rangers. I've been a lifelong Power Rangers fan ever since it came out in the 90s and continued to watch it, so I love the Megazord. I think that's my thing with big robots. And I wanted my take on the Power Rangers outfits. So what you are witnessing right now is me kind of designing them not as like this alien armor, but more like an armor. Okay, so that's why you don't see the mouths, but more like an Iron Man type armor. So that's what I kind of wanted to design, and then drawing all the actors, which was a lot of fun. And in fact, a fun fact was that when I was working at a company called Pixamundo, we actually worked on the Power Rangers movie, the most recent one. However, I didn't get the chance to actually work on that movie. I was actually working on a different movie. So I saw a lot of the previs and a lot of the shots before the movie came out. But it was unfortunate I didn't get the chance to work on the movie. But this is one of my favorite pieces. Again, adding a lot of like Transformers influence into their designs, beginning to draw all of them as well. And in fact, when I went to Indonesia a little bit last year, I actually met the Red Ranger, Jason, which you will see in a second. I actually gave him this piece as well as a piece that's coming a little bit later. So that was a lot of fun. Jason is a wonderful guy, and it was great to meet him at Indonesia Comic Con. So there he is, Jason, awesome guy, and me not as cool. Now what you're seeing here is me drawing Marvel's The Celestials, who we saw briefly in Guardians of the Galaxy, but I think they will play a big role in the upcoming Eternals. And this was actually a commission, and he wanted me to recreate a particular comic book splash page, but I changed it up a bit. Before the Destroyer was like right in the center, but I wanted it to just change it up the angle. So I put the Destroyer on the side and then kind of angled it a little bit, but I added as much detail as I could to this particular piece, and this turned out to be one of my favorite pieces. So here it is, the Celestials. A lot of fun to do. I did a lot of this live on the YouTube channel, and luckily enough, the one who commissioned me to do this, he actually lived in Toronto, so I got the chance to go meet him face to face along with his son, and then we took this picture together, and that was a lot of fun. They loved the picture. Next, one of my favorite movies that just recently came out, the Bumblebee movie, and I really enjoyed it, and I wanted to do a piece for it. Like a lot of you guys know, I've been drawing Transformers forever. We'll talk a little bit more about that later on, but I wanted to do a movie poster, right? And I think that is one of my goals one of these days, to be exclusively a movie poster artist, but I'm just having so much fun entertaining you guys on YouTube right now. Probably put that on the back burner for now. I know time will come where I'll have to take it a little bit more seriously and do more movie posters, but for this particular one, just taking all of my past Transformer experiences and then putting this particular piece together, it was a lot of fun to do. Breaking out the old French curve, and you saw that orange thing there in the corner. That is called a French curve. I love using that. And this piece, one of my favorites for sure. This is for the Bumblebee movie. Here is another one of my favorites, and this is me drawing 50 Spider-Man. It was a suggestion from one of my fans, and I actually did a lot of this live. So what you're actually watching is the live stream, me putting together. And the fun part about this particular live stream was I would ask the fans live, ask you guys live which Spider-Man you would like me to draw. And sometimes I didn't even know which Spider-Man that was. I would look them up on the spot and then draw them. So this in particular was a lot of fun to do, researching all of the different Spider-Man, and I had so much fun doing this that that's why I did the 100 Batman, that's why I did the 100 Flashes, and this series will continue. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these type of videos where I'm going to be drawing all the alternate versions of all the different characters, right, of a particular character, if that made sense. But one of my favorite pieces of all time, the Spider-Man piece. And the next one is Attack on Titan. Now, one of my more popular series that I did over the past couple of years is where I would quote-unquote westernize a anime property, and I did that with One Punch Man. I did that with Naruto, and you're gonna get on me for saying it that way. I just said that. I did Luffy, I did All Might, and one thing I wanted to do was take one of those and kind of combine it with a most detailed drawing ever, and that's when we got the idea to do Attack on Titan. You know, I just drawing all the exposed muscles I thought was going to be so much fun, and this is one of my most popular pieces that I've ever done. Okay, so this particular one here, this is actually the very second, is that the word very second? This is the second, quote-unquote, most detailed drawing ever that I've done. The second one in the series, the first one I did was a Metroplex, Transformers Metroplex, which you have seen in the previous most detailed drawing ever compilation. This particular one here is a Power Rangers Ultrazord. You saw me draw Power Rangers earlier, and you know, again, love Power Rangers, and this was one of my favorite Zords, was drawing this particular one here, just because all the detail, and because, you know, these Zords are supposed to be as big as buildings. That's why, to me, they would have all of this detail on them, but I've never seen a drawing where an Ultrazord like this, or even a Megazord, would have the amount of detail I would expect from a robot that was that size. So I got the opportunity to do that, and again, a lot of fun. Okay, and the next one here was a lot of fun. This is me drawing Pacific Rim versus King Kong versus Godzilla. You know, it's been rumored for a while that they were going to do a movie like this, and of course King Kong versus Godzilla, at the time of this filming, it's slated to come out, I think, is this year or next year? But this was a lot of fun to do, you know, doing something hard surface like the Pacific Rim robot, you know, the Jaeger, the Gypsy Avenger. I know my robots, okay? And then drawing, you know, something a little bit more organic, humanoid like King Kong and Godzilla, and of course drawing a lot of buildings. All things that I love to do. And a fun fact about this was I actually got contacted by Steve DeKnight, who is the director of Pacific Rim 2. After I did this, he absolutely loved the piece. He's a follower of mine, so I sent him a giant poster of this. I actually printed out a giant poster of the colored version. I sent that off to him, so that was really cool. Maybe I'll get to work with him one of these days. I forgot what show he worked on, but he also was the showrunner for Daredevil. Always nice to have a little bit of recognition for the work that you do. Okay, and the next one actually has a lot of, we'll call it heat on Instagram right now. A lot of people ask me if they could share this particular piece, and this is my THANOS, Venomized THANOS, however you want to call it. And this was extremely fun to do, you know, and even coloring this myself. You know, how would it look if Venom overtook Thanos, right? How would it, you know, take over the costume and, you know, take over Thanos' costume and the plates and all that? What part of Thanos' original outfit do I keep in the Venomized version of him? So, you know, Venom has taken over Thanos many times in the comics and in the cartoon, so it's nothing really new I did here, but this, by far, this is one of my favorite pieces today. Okay, and you most likely, if you're a follower of mine, you've seen this many times, okay? And this is my most detailed drawing of Galactus. Again, Galactus eats planets, okay? So it's gonna be bigger than a planet. Anyway, so it just makes sense that he would have all of these details. If we were to zoom in to Galactus, right? If an actual person was to, you know, be like standing on Galactus's shoulder, how tiny would that person be when Galactus can go and like hold planets in his hands? You know, so I thought that was a little fun challenge. Now, looking at it now, I probably could have even gone further, to be honest with you, but this took about 9 hours. I believe that's what I said in the original video. Around 9 hours to do. And, you know, I just wanted to get as much detail as I could in there without it looking a little bit too confusing or trying to figure out what's going on there. I did add the Silver Surfer at the end, though I should have made it a little bit more apparent that he was a lot closer to us than it looked, because right now it looked like he was very, as the size of Thanos' hand, as you saw there. So in the colored version of it, I made it a point to make it look like a streak went by, and the streak went a lot smaller. So as you see the color here, I tried to compensate for that particular scale there. But it's always nice to see the difference between the black and white and the color. Sometimes people tell me they just prefer the black and white over the color. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Okay, talking about favorite pieces to date, this has got to be one of my favorite covers to date, because this was a 6-part connected cover for Transformers Unicron. So this is actually published. You can get these books in stores, and yeah, it was a major crossover, taking Transformers, G.I. Joe, Mask, Rom. There's Rom the Space Knight, you know, Visionaries, all of these different properties that IDW Publishing had the licenses for, and they asked me to make this massive cover. And the series was about Unicron coming to their universe and pretty much changing that Transformers universe as we knew it at the time. So they asked me to do this. Now, fun fact about this is that when I got this job, hooray, hip-hop hooray, you know, fantastic, I started working a little bit on it, and then I got the Marvel Infinity War job. Okay, that's crazy. So I actually had to rush this cover. I wanted to add more. I wanted to add more detail to this cover, but I couldn't. I didn't have the time because I had to move on fast to work on the Infinity War mural for Disney. Okay, so a little behind the scenes for you guys. So this is me rushing this. Okay, now of course I wasn't gonna rush it. I wanted to make sure it looked good, and looked the best it could have for the amount of time I spent on it. But to be honest with you guys, I really wanted to add more. But this is what it is, and I was pretty happy with the end result. So this is Transformers Unicron, all 6 connected covers. And here's a fun one here. Way back when Avengers Endgame was coming out last year, a little bit earlier, a little bit before that, I decided to go live and do a 24-hour live stream. As you guys know, I do this on occasion. I can't do it as much anymore. I'm getting a little bit older, but you never know. Sometimes I'll get the energy of like, let's go 24 hours live. And one thing I love about going 24 hours live is the fact I get to communicate with all of you guys. And all of you guys give me suggestions and letting me know when I'm doing things wrong and letting me know when I'm doing things right. And you're really, you're like the coffee. You're like my coffee. Okay? You give me that boost of energy, especially when I need it. Like when I get to hours 15, 14, 15, 16, that's when I'm starting to wane a little bit, and that's when hearing your comments and you guys suggesting I do, and there I took a tea break. That's when, you know, I get the energy to keep going and trying to go for it. Now, for this particular one here, I actually didn't go all 24 hours. I went 20 hours, and because pretty much I was done. A 20-hour mark, I was done. I didn't know if I could add anything more to it than I already did. So that's when I decided to stop and just stop from there. So it did take me another, I think, 8 hours to color this. So I didn't technically go over 24, but I had a lot of fun doing this piece. This is my Avengers Endgame. finally, the last thing I'm going to show you in this compilation video is my Marvel vs. DC, what's it called? Image, right? I don't even know what's called. Marvel vs. DC mural. Is it a mural? Not really. It's a little smaller than a mural, but you guys voted who you wanted to see battle it out, okay? And in the end, it was Spider-Man versus Batman. We held a tournament on both YouTube and on Instagram at the time, and this is what we came up with. So I was actually struggling which outfits was I going to use. Now, maybe I should have just stuck with the movie outfits, looking back at it now, but you know, we had some suggestions that weren't from live action series, like either television or the movies, so I just kind of went with how I felt. So that's what I did here, and had a lot of fun doing it, and this has turned out to be one of my most popular pieces of all time. This Marvel vs. DC piece, I might go bigger and better. Why don't we go bigger? Maybe I'll even make a bigger piece down the line, but we will see how that goes. So there it is. That is my volume 2 of my most detailed drawings ever. Now when I say that, that's all in fun. It says, I think, ever. You know, I'm sure there are tons and tons of more detailed drawings out there. This is just detailed for me anyway. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Some of these you really enjoyed. A lot of you supported these videos. Really meant a lot to me. So thank you so much, all of you, for the support of my channel and for the series and for all of my artwork. This is art I love to do, and hopefully it entertains you all. What do you want me to do? I want to do more most detailed drawing evers. Let me know which kind of detailed drawing evers you want me to do in the comments down below, and I'm going to be doing more sooner than later because this is really fun to do. So make sure you subscribe. If you're new here, this is your first video, please do subscribe for more content like this, and thank you guys for watching. You guys are the best. My name is James. I am the Box Office Artist. I'm here to say keep drawing. I'll see you all next time.